So, yeah, thanks everyone for coming today. And today is hosted by XueDAO. We are at ETHGlobal and ETH Taipei Hacker Sharing event. So this is the agenda for today. We'll first start it from me will do an intro for XueDAO, and ETHGlobal will also do an intro, ETH Taipei as well. And then we will have three different experienced hackers. They share their experience about ETHGlobal and other developments stuff. And then we will have some speaker from this time's ETHGlobal sponsor. And then if everyone wants to share or hire any teammates, you can scan the QR code and fill the team matching form. And basically, yeah, it's an open mic, so it's super flexible. If you wanna share your project you're going to build in the hackathon, feel free to raise your hand during the section. And please fill the form first. Thank you. All right, 3, 2, 1. Okay. And also thanks for our sponsor ETHGlobal and super good co-host ETH Taipei, and the venue is Cozy Co-work Cafe. It's very good place. There's holding several interesting events regarding nomadic software or digital nomad. So not only Web3 events, there's also multiple events we'll hold in this venue. So welcome to follow their Twitter, follow their Instagram to learn more about the store. And remember, if everyone is interested to participate in the hackathon, use the link to sign up. You will get 50% off of your staking fee. So it will become 0.01 ETH for staking. And I think they will close very soon, maybe today or tomorrow. So if you are interested in joining the hackathon, remember to sign up first. And if you're a student, you can sign up for student tickets for ETH Taipei conference. It will be only $10 US. Super cheap, super cheap. And if you participate ETHGlobal, it will be free. So they will close the form just tonight. Martinez say that. So remember, if you're a student, you want to participate in the conference and learn more from experienced speaker and learn more about the Web3 technology, please sign up. Okay, so I will do the intro for XueDAO. And we are actually a student-run community, and our vision is to show the world that Taiwanese students can build. Currently, we have more than 30 plus contributors and have more than 400 people in our XueDAO Web3 Telegram group. So this is our membership NFT. It's like a dog, because our another co-founder Jennifer loves dog, and also like the boba elements here. So you can see we're kind of Taiwan elements here. And so we will basically we want to build a student and beginner-friendly learning environment as long as we are all learning in Web3. So we kind of not only student-focused, but also if you want to learn, want to build something, then we are all welcome. And we also want to provide global exposure and show the impact of students. And the end vision is to become the bridge between industry, Web industry, and also for the future talent. So basically, we learn, we build, we connect, and try to be an incubator for all the young talents in Taiwan and focus on developer. So what we do, usually for the learning part, we will have a learning section bi-weekly to monthly. We hold very different multi-topics, including zero knowledge or just social fi like friend tech, or depends on what's the recent trend. So for example, 2-3 weeks ago, we had an AI agent co-learning section, which is the co-host is Alan. And we also, me also introduced Eliza always, which is I think one of the most popular agent framework for Web3. So we will host it, I think monthly. So next time is agent, and next time we haven't decided. But you can follow our Instagram. We will also post all the latest information there. And not only online learning section, we also provide hands-on workshop. So this is our offline learning workshop. This is one of our contributor, Louis. He will also be the speaker today. And he's very talented and experienced in Solidity. So he gives like a very comprehensive Solidity 101 from basic syntax to how to use Foundry, the framework, how to deploy, and also a little bit like security tips for developing smart contract. And later on, after the participant know how to build smart contract, how to build the backend for dApps, then definitely they need to learn how to integrate, how to get user to interact and to use the actual smart contract to deploy on-chain. So we also teach the front-end skills and provide a front-end framework, front-end templates for our participants. So they will learn WebMe, they will learn like EtherJS, those like Web3 front-end library. And all in all, we provide this workshop for our student-only hackathon where we host last year. We got sponsored from Sui, Zeus, Blockchain for Good Alliance, Aptos, 30, ETH Taipei, Cathay, Financial Holdings, and they are all very supporting. So really appreciate it. And with only 2.5 months, we actually have 120 plus student hackers join us. And this is very surprising because most of them didn't know Web3 before. So we kind of bring new people, bring new developers into this industry, and we are proud of this. And more than half of them sign up for our spring camp, which we hold before the actual hackathon. We have 2 days venue open for a hacker from different cities in Taiwan. They came to Taipei and hack on site. And at the end, we got 25 projects submitted and 10 team demo on the stage. So that's very, I think, very important to, very appreciate for all the sponsors to let us do this kind of student empowered events. So not only learn, we also build together. So within the community, you can find your hackathon teammates together. So for example, me and other contributor, we go to East Taipei last year, and also we went to East Singapore, Bangkok, and also some non-EVM hackathon as well. And also connect to different industry leaders. Let's say Gen 3, they are one of the biggest Solana ecosystem here, and also MoDAO, they are focusing on public goods in Web3. And 不知道, they host Taipei Blockchain Week every year. So these are all our partnership. And not only for physical or hands-on hard skill, we also invite experienced industry leader from ETH Taipei. We have Nick from Untoken Lab and also Martin from Zurich, sharing their industry experience and how the Web3 career look like and share their personal experience as a worker in the industry. And 不知道 sharing their community events, how they host, how they kind of bring the entire conference cultural into Taiwan, and then at the end host a Taipei Collection Week. And we also join different campus collaboration with different professors to sharing what is Web3, what is XueDAO, and promote our hackathon as well. So that's what we have done for I think last year. And we are also being part of Global Learning Hacking Fund project, which is supported by Jackie, Vivian, Astro Shi, Martine, and Chang Wu. So basically, it's a program to vet all the students to apply, and we will provide all the fees they need to go to international hackathon. So for the batch 1 student, we sent them to the East Tokyo last year. And me personally joined the batch 2. We went to East Bangkok after DEF CON, and we eventually won a prize for that. So after we won the prize, we will give back to the funds. If we won the prize, we will give that back our bounty to the pool, and then empower the next batch student to go to participate in another hackathon. So that's what we want to have, like a sustainable developer ecosystem. So if you're interested about XueDAO, here is our QR code. You can find all of our social media link and all the like website and all the information in our Linktree page. Thank you. All right. Next we have ETHGlobal.
Hi everybody, my name is Pascal with ETHGlobal. This is going to be, I'm going to wing this one because I was not supposed to have this presentation. Because first of all, I'm really tired. I've been up for like 40 hours, so sorry about that. And the person who's supposed to hold this talk is currently stuck in traffic, so I'll try to do my best. So pretty much, let's see. For everybody that does not know, ETHGlobal runs, I personally would say, totally not biased, the best Web3 hackathons in the ecosystem. We try to onboard as many people from Web 2 into Web 3, and we just generally, I personally, again, my name is Pascal, I'm Hacker Success, and my goal is to have the best experience for everybody coming into the space. So even if it's your first hackathon, your second hackathon, your 13,000th hackathon, doesn't really matter. We just want to make sure that everybody is welcome, everybody can be there, that is willing to be there, and that's why we host stuff like this community meetup, for example. We just try to get more people into the space. And again, really sorry because I did not see those slides before. So we also do have, so apart from running hackathons, we also run conferences. Our signature conferences are pragmas. We usually run one before each hackathon. It is a one-day conference with industry leaders, usually C-level, meaning like founders, CEOs, CTOs, just sharing their views on current trends in the ecosystem. It's a great chance to network with really highly skilled, super intelligent people and get like first-hand experience on what's going to come next up in Web3 or in the Ethereum ecosystem. And our flagship event for this one is going to be ETHGlobal Taipei, which is going to be our first hackathon that we're running in Taipei, and it's also our first hackathon we're running this year in person. We usually run about 6 global hackathons. The biggest one we ran was last year, our final one during DEF CON in Bangkok with over 2,000 hackers. This one's probably going to be around 500 to 600 hackers, so a little bit smaller, but still going to be really cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing each and every single one of you there. So as I mentioned before, what is ETHGlobal? We say we're the world's largest Web3 developer community. The slide is a bit off. We've been doing this for the last 7 years. I joined about a year ago. I joined the ecosystem about a year ago. I started hacking in Sydney, hacked a bunch of online hackathons, and my last one was Brussels before joining the team in Singapore. So I've seen a few people in Singapore, in San Francisco, and also in Bangkok. And it's really cool because this is a really unique ecosystem. You see so many people that literally travel the entire globe just to meet up again, which is super, super wild, and it's really, really cool. And like initiatives like yours are amazing, that you're actually giving back to the community so other people can join. This is awesome. This is how everything should be. So yeah, huge shout out for that. That's great. The numbers aren't even remotely correct. I think we have over like 2,000 hours of educational content now. We have about like 5 to 6 million we given out in prizes, and we had over 100 events that we already ran in the last 7 years, starting in 2017 with ETH Waterloo. And yeah, as I mentioned before, you can get 50% off your stake if you sign up today, and I think still tomorrow with this link. Generally, about the people that do not know, the stake is a deposit that you're gonna bring out. You're gonna get this 100% refunded if you turn in the project. It doesn't matter what state this project in, you just have to submit the project. We would just want to make sure that people come in and they really, really try to build something, bring something new in, and even if you fail, this is still completely fine. This is a hackathon. You're not supposed to launch like the next billion-dollar project. If you do, awesome, great for you, great for the ecosystem. It's likely not going to happen. So even if it's just something small, hackathons are there for you to learn and to grow. Like, for example, for me, first time at ETHGlobal Hackathon, I was the dumbest person in the room. I had no idea about Web3 whatsoever. I thought it was just a bunch of people trying to get money really, really quickly. But peeling back the curtain and seeing what people are actually building in a short amount of time is insane. Like, the energy at those hackathons is ridiculous. You see people completely sleep deprived and still hacking until the last second of the submission. Please do not do that. Get some sleep. This is also completely fine, and give them like an hour before, just make sure we have everything wrapped up, and if it's not perfect, still completely fine. In general, I'm going to be at the venue pretty much almost all the time. If you have any question about the hackathon, if you have any suggestions on how we could improve, please come to me, approach me directly. If I'm too intimidating, then just write me a message. This is completely fine too. I just want to make sure that you have the best possible experience, and that you can say like, hey, this was a really, really cool event. It could have been better if you do that. Just let me know, then we can make sure that the next time when we're going to be in Prague, that all the stuff that went bad or is potentially going to go bad in Taipei is going to be amazing in Prague, and so forth. So we also need your support. First of all, without hackers, this would be absolutely nothing. We cannot have any hackathons without hackers, so thanks for being there. And we also need the support in just like improving, so we can build better events, we can have better hackathons, and we can actually make the ecosystem better. So thanks for being there, thanks for supporting this, thanks for listening to this. I'm really, really sorry again, I was kind of winging it. I hope it wasn't too terrible. If you have any question, any suggestion, just reach out. My name is Pascal, thank you very much.
Alright, we have ETH Taipei. So
no, I don't have slides. Well, good evening, everyone. So I'm Martinet Lee. I am mainly, here representing ETH Taipei. Just a quick introduction about myself. So ETH Taipei is like my volunteering work. My day job is head of developer relations at QuantStem, a security company, and also Circuit, a layer 2. Aside from that, I also teach in Jiaoda, which is one of the top 3 engineering schools or universities here in Taiwan. And with all that, that's why we have like a lot of collaboration with XueDAO and then support and all that. So what do I want to talk about? I think it's gonna be a chill thing, right? A couple of things. One is actually the history, and then like why ETH Taipei even existed. And funnily enough, it is related to ETHGlobal. It's related to ETHGlobal. So back in the days, COVID happened, right? And then like no one was hosting any ETH events anymore. Then ETH Lisbon happened. I think around the same year, ETHGlobal said, we're gonna do ETHGlobal Taipei, right? I was like, oh, we're so excited because like, hey, this hasn't been happening for a long time and we're expecting it. But as we Taiwanese, or most of the Taiwanese here, we know that at the time it was still kind of closed off. So unfortunately it was canceled mid-year and we're like, oh, sorry, sorry for the language, but fuck, right? It it was not, and so we were at ETH Lisbon, and then what happens? ETH Lisbon has great wine, red wines, and Porto wine, whatever. With alcohol, also always comes passion. With passion comes project, right? And so after 3 bottles of wine, we're like, yeah, why don't we do ETH Taipei since they're not coming? And then we're like, eagerly waiting for you guys to finally coming back. So this is kind of like finally after 3 years, coming back as a full circle. So I'm very happy. Very happy to see ETHGlobal team here, and then see our ecosystem kind of maintaining pretty good. So the whole ETH Taipei thing is actually started, well, obviously with this story, but also with the goal of reconnecting, because at the time, Taiwan, due to COVID, the community sort of I wouldn't say died down, but silenced a little bit, because everyone doesn't want to meet up. To not to get COVID, which was very effective. But after that, we want to rekindle it and then also reconnect with the global connection. So that's how ETH Taipei started as an international and mainly English kind of conference. Good or bad, ETH Taipei folks are extremely nerdy, in my opinion, good. In my unbiased opinion. So with that, we, the whole conference vibe is very researchy. You go there, even myself, I wouldn't understand 70% of the things. I just write down keywords, and then I'll do some more research. But what we're presenting there, or ETH Taipei as a whole, I would say, one, it's a very researchy, top innovation. People are presenting literally only the technical content, right? And if you look at the agenda, it's also curated in the way that, well, if you go to other places, it's panels. And I can tell you why that works. Because it maximizes speaker spot that you can sell. But, us, we want it to be really technical, and then we want people to be able to talk about their technical stuff in a deeper manner. So there's quite some time. Typically, it's individual talks and going 20 minutes, 30 minutes into the topic. For workshops, they're 2 hours, 3 hours. I remember the first year, Tenderly was hosting a hacking competition, even with prizes. So it's a mini hackathon. And then they're trying to distract people while they're roller skating beside them, and they try to hack. So, all in all, it's a very nerdy event. I highly encourage you guys to join us and hopefully see you there. He already covered the Good Luck Have Fun, which is the project we have for students and sending them out, for free. Well, they're for free. It's our money. It hurts. Yeah. So there's that. What else? Yes, one very important thing is that I specifically for this event created a discount code in case anyone else haven't got the ETH Taipei ticket. So one, ETH Taipei is happening on April 1st, April 2nd, which is Tuesday and Wednesday. I hope my math and then all my senses are not wrong. ETHGlobal is happening right after that, so ETH Pragma, right? And then ETHGlobal Hackathon. So April 1st and 2nd is ETH Taipei, the super nerdy, super researchy conference. It's over there. Thank you. Yes. And there is a discount code, which is, because it's for XueDAO, right? So it's XueXueNi. So 2 Xues, XUE, and then NI. If you don't remember that, it's okay. I've written down in the whiteboard right there so that you can see. Okay, XueXueNi. Taiwanese would know that means thank you. Thank you. Good. All right. Well, with that being said, I'm gonna wrap up. But if there's any questions for me, feel free to reach out, and I'm gonna hang around for a bit. So, cheers.
Thanks for intensive introduction from Martine. Then later on, we had Alan to share his hacker journey and his project.
wait a second. Oh, so hello everyone. Hello. Wow, really embarrassing. Hello. So my name is Alan, and I'm currently a core contributor in XueDAO, and I'm also doing some AI machine learning in Web2 company. So if I can do Web3 hackathon, then all of you guys can also do Web3 hackathon, since I am just a Web2 guy. So encourage everyone to join Web3 hackathon. And today I'm going to share with you guys from 0 to 1 my latest ETHGlobal Hackathon experience. And the hackathon experience I'm going to share is agentic Ethereum. Since this is a hackathon, this is the latest hackathon that I have joined, and also it is about like AI agent, so I'm going to share this hackathon. And this is also the hackathon that I have more memory inside, since it is the latest year. So how did I come up the idea with this hackathon, and why I want to join this hackathon? All of the origin is from the Ethereum price. So I guess everyone here invest Ethereum, right? Yeah. If somebody don't know what is Ethereum, what is ETH? If somebody here don't have ETH in your Web3 wallets or MetaMask or like CSX, oh, okay. I guess that everyone has already buy ETH. So here is a chart from January to the present. You can clearly see that the Ethereum price has dropped very down. Yeah. So the reason I was really upset, not only because 90% of my portfolio are in Ethereum, but also my average buying price is around 3,116. So if someone here is like a blue whale, please buy some Ethereum. Please help me, okay? So I am very upset. So I started to think that I have a lot of Ethereum, although that let me lose a lot of money. Can I utilize this Ethereum? So I started to search some DeFi protocol, like some staking protocol like Lido, or some restaking, or yield farming, something like that. Lending protocol like Handle. So I searched a lot of DeFi protocol. And after the searching, I found out that there are too many DeFi operations how to do, especially for someone they are not a DeFi teacher. And second one is there are too many a lot of information on the internet, so you cannot clearly find the DeFi protocol that is your desired one. And the third part is that DeFi information, some are too complicated, so you need to search the internet to find a lot of information, and finally you may didn't get anything, since a lot of DeFi information has some technical terms, and this kind of terms you guys make for the normal user. For the normal, not only Web2, also Web3 user, they might don't know what it is about. So I started thinking that, well, currently AI agent can do a lot of things, right? Why not I use AI agent, also optimize the UI UX experience, trying to build some product. So my goal is to enable users to easily onboard to Web3 DeFi protocol. And here is four parts of my goal. Like the first part is that help users to learn DeFi protocol strategies, since a lot of not only Web2 but also Web3 users, they only like trading on like centralized exchange. They only do like lending, borrowing, also do like a future trading, but they don't even know what is like staking, restaking, what is yield farming. So I'm trying to like gather this user back to the true decentralized Web3 space. And the second one is that I want to let users can easily interact with these DeFi protocols, since a lot of DeFi protocol is too complicated. So the third part is that I want to provide the latest news and the information, so that if you know that the Ethereum price will go down, you will sell it, not just hold it. Yeah. And the third part is that I want to do some like game design
so that I can like appeal more users to onboard my DApp. Yeah. So this is my goals, and I was starting that like because I only have 1 people and I don't have a lot of I need to find my teammates. So I started to analyze my skills. So I divide my skills into 3 parts. The first part is that I can pick up quickly. So I'm an AI machine learning engineer, so I can pick up AI skills and also some back-end skills quickly. But like front-end, maybe they'll have a lot of AI tools can help me do the front-end. And the second part is that it is some, it is something that I need to learn, like a front end, like a smart contract, because I only write the simple Solidity code in the very first beginning that I joined the Web3 industry. And the third part is that since some like a contract code may be a little bit too hard for me to learn, and ChatGPT may not know how to write this code yet because they have the knowledge cut off. So I'm trying to find the teammates focus on contract, also the UI UX. Yeah, because I am not a good designer. And so now I'm going to find my teammates. But where can I start? As a nerdy engineer, I have a lot of tech geeks friends. So I can easily find someone who is good at front end, who is good at back end, who is good at smart contracts. But I search my Telegram friends and I just scroll down and scroll up. I cannot find one UI UX designer who is very naturally, someone who also wants to like join the ETHGlobal Hackathon. So I start finding teammates, and in Chinese there is an adage goes 人不要脸则天下无敌. So I started to search the Discord and into the find a team channel. And I started to search who is like a UI UX designer and who might want to join me. So I sent a lot of message to a lot of UI UX designer, and I finally found one who is called XYZ. Yeah, and he is also like an Indonesia person in Europe. Although we have like different time zone, but that's okay. So now I have a UI UX designer, and I have another teammate who is good at front end and smart contracts, which is like a shortcut of me. So now I can start check my tracks. And because I'm going to do something about like restaking, about like lending protocol, so I'm going to apply for the EigenLayer track, which I will deposit some token into EigenLayer for restaking. Also like using the AI agent to collect like operators or ABS information to help user can easily onboard the restaking. And the second part is that I'm going to do like a lending strategy. So I'm going to combine with Morpho. It is like a biggest lending protocol on Base. And the third part is that since there are a lot of price in CDP, Coinbase developer platform, he is also one of the biggest sponsors in this hackathon. So I'm going to using agent kits to solve my project. And the next part is that the Arbitrum. I want to deploy something on Arbitrum. So I connect Uniswap and like doing the strategy called provide liquidity. And now, after you have your teammates, you have select what track you are going to apply for. You can start building your product. And here is a pipeline that I draw. So you can see that it has a lot of word inside, and I'm trying to like, after the user input, AI agent will do something, and I'm going to connect some DeFi protocol, and what is we're going to do, what is the outcome. And I just send it to the UI UX designer, and it helped me to turn something really beautiful. So everyone now knows that UI UX designer is very important in a hackathon. Yeah. So feel free to find your designer UI UX designer friends. Yeah. So yeah, he turned my idea into a very beautiful Figma. Wow, very beautiful, right? So this is the original one that's in my mind. That I want to tell in my mind. I want to build a game that is like a Tomcat, which is like 10 years before. Like it is just a cat you can interact with it. It's like a pet assistant to helping you with your DeFi problem. So thanks God that I have a UI UX friends so I will not develop something like that. So here is my final pipeline version. So I draw something in very detail, but for the judges or for someone else, they still cannot know what I am writing since it is too messy. And now, here is another benefit of a UI UX designer. You can get a very beautiful pipeline. Yeah, since UI UX designer will help you not only your Figma page, but also your presentation. So it can let everything smoothly and easily be understood by the judges. Yeah. So now I'm starting into the development part, and I start turn the Figma page into a reality. Now there are a lot of AI tools like ChatGPT, like Cloud. You can also use Cursor AI and also use the iTrade or something. And my front end framework is React. And I also connect Rainbow Kits so I can easily interact with the smart contract. I also use Web3 apps so that you can use Google Social Login. And the second part is like develop the backend function. Since I have a lot of AI parts, so I'm using Wrap. The first part is that I'm using a web query to get all the information on the website. Then I store this information into the vector database. Then I can use some cosine similarity or some embedding search to find this related data. And a large language model that I use is OpenAI. And the third part is that the smart contract. Since I have a lot of contracts need to be interacted with, so I'm using the multi-core tree since it can bundle all of the contracts into one simple transaction. So user can just sign the simple transaction, then all of the things can be done. So it is really easy and it can help to improve the user experience. And I use Foundry for my coding architecture. Yeah. So here is my result. Yeah, and you can see that all of the parts is very smoothly. Maybe I just show some parts. Yeah, this is a landing page. You can connect with your Web3 apps for social login. And you can deposit some token inside, and now you can here is some strategy. Since I'm going to help the user to manage their risk level, so here are some 3 strategies: the low risk, mid risk, and the high risk. And the main risk strategy currently is more for lending protocol, and you can see that it has a risk level, your APY, and some AI agent will crawl the data and give you what is inside this strategy. And you can just using the AI chatbot, and I will use a rec system to tell you what is about Morpho. Do you have any question inside? And it will get the latest information. So, and then later on, you can just simply select what amount you want, and just simply click a confirm and stay. And although in the backend and in the smart contract part, they will have multiple steps, but in our DF, you can just simply sign the transaction, and all of this, a lot of transactions will be wrapped into a core data. User just simply sign the core data, and everything will be done. So it is very easily, and it has a better user experience. So here I'm just showing that I really signed the transaction. So I'm not cheat. Yeah, I have a transaction hash. Yeah, you can also get the latest information. So here is my product. If you guys have interest and what I am building, I can show you after this meeting. Yeah. So now, here comes to the final. So in the ETHGlobal Hackathon, you will have the time to show your products. If you attend an in-person hackathon like this week ETHGlobal Taipei, you will have time to show your products to the judges in person. And if you want to attend something like ETHGlobal online, you can show your products to the judges. And judges will have some questions to ask you, so prepare your question. And most of the questions may not related to technical question. There may be something like what is your product, what problem is truly solved. So you can just prepare for this question. And here is judges, and this is me. Yes. And this is Eigenlayer's debut. Yeah. Now, yeah. So here is the result that in this hackathon I won some prizes, and I won the Eigenlayer agent for 1,666, and I get a CDP for the Viral Consumer App Award. Yeah, since I want to help bring more users, not only Web 2, but also not only Web 3, but also Web 2 to onboard the app. So I get a viral consumer app, and also I use the agent kids pool. So I also get like $11. Yeah. So yeah, congratulations. Yeah. So here is some ETHGlobal Hackathon tricks. Yeah, I have attended like about 5 times of ETHGlobal Hackathon already. Some are in person, some is like online, and also win some prizes. So for the in-person hackathon, ETHGlobal Hackathon, the most important part is if you want to get like a swag, you want to get like a swag from the sponsor, please go to the venue as soon as possible. Since the swag may only have like 20 or 30. So yeah, so you just line up at the entrance as soon as possible since the registration starts and grab the sponsor giveaway. And the second part is that since the ETHGlobal Hackathon is really, really competitive. So if you didn't get the prize, not means that you are not good. It just means that other people may have a better idea. There are too many competitors, too many participants. So this doesn't mean you are not good. Yeah. So if you want to make sure that you at least get some prize, please find a prize pool. It is really, really important. Yeah. First part is go to your ETHGlobal tracks and find the price that has a price pool and just like deploy a contract on it or like just use the sponsors like tools or something. Then you can at least get some money. Yeah. In the ETHGlobal Vanguard, actually I submit 3 more projects. Yeah. And these 2 projects I just apply for the price pool. Yeah. I just use a very simple code. I just finish it within like maybe 1 hour, yeah. So in 2 hours, I submit 3 projects, and I get like a 8 prize pool. So yeah, so I spend a very little time, but I also get the money. So utilize the prize pool. And the third part is that this is important. Just make sure the pipeline is solid, the concept is strong, and the contract code is reasonable. The judge may not see your front-end code because they may not really care about you actually interact with the smart contract, but they will definitely see your smart contract code. Since a lot of contract code you need to like use the sponsor's track or something, so make sure that the important part is truly being implemented. So here is the final. Thank you everyone, and this is my Twitter QR code. If you want to get connected with me, just feel free to scan the Twitter QR code since I'm going to manage my Twitter account. Yeah, and this is my Telegram account. If you want to like ask some question or something related to ETHGlobal Hackathon, feel free to ask me. Yeah, thanks you guys.
Is there any questions for Alan's presentation? We can got 1 or 2 questions.
Yeah,
Anyone else?
Just make sure to scan the QR code.
Yeah, just follow Alan because he'll become
Please follow my Twitter
agent
account.
KOL in the future.
Since my followers is very low. I just start organizing this last month. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we got Luis to share later.
Okay, thank you guys.
for this wonderful sharing. My name is Luis, and today I will share something different. I think most of you are hackers, so today I will share as an auditor to protect your protocol from being attacked. Oh, can you see my screen now? I connect it.
First tip, if you don't connect, you can never get hacked. Offline. There you go.
Offline is the most safest part to protect your file. Right, my name is Luis, and my current focus is Web3 security. So today I will talk more about smart contract auditing and how to write secure contracts and how you can participate in Web3 auditing contests. And I also prepare another part for how you can get involved in developing the Ethereum's infrastructure. Currently, my another focus is on the Ethereum virtual machine, and the recent very hot topic is Ethereum object format. And there is some repository and some project you can contribute to, and I will guide you through these resources. All right, so what is smart contract security and what is audit contest? I think most of the people here might have experience in developing softwares like website. When doing in a traditional software development cycle, you might first design your software and then do the development process and then do testing and finally deploy on the cloud. And you might frequently deploy onto a cloud. Like in my previous internship experience, we deploy and release new versions maybe 2 times a week. But in smart contract, once you deploy your contract into the blockchain, that is immutable. So you cannot change the immutable bytecode on the blockchain. As a result, the security becomes very important for in Web3 space. And here is how smart contract audit is coming to help. Every time you deploy, before you deploy your contract onto bytecode, you might want to get some audits. And you can get audits from the contest platform. Like here, I list the most popular platforms. And you also could get private audits from some independent auditors. And you also can get audits from audit companies like Constant. And conducting audits is very important because in history there are a lot of severe attack incidents in the past, and the loss is quite significant. So that's always the best practice to conduct more than one, and every time you change your code, you get one audit. And how could you start your business as a Web3 security researcher? There are multiple roadmaps, but in 2025, I would recommend you start by learning the Cypress Object courses. The course is awesome, and you can learn anything from the Cypress Object. If you are a developer, there are developer-related courses, and if you want to learn auditing, or you want to learn something very low level, like Ethereum virtual machine, bytecode, how it works, and how to write maybe half programming language, you can find all the resources on the platform. And I will focus mainly on the auditing now. So after you complete the courses, you could just start practice the audit contest. And there is an educational competition for you to participate in. That is the code first flight. That is also hosted by the Cypress Object company. And the code base for each audit contest is quite small, like 100 to 200 lines of isolated code. So you can quickly scan through the code base and find some major vulnerabilities and practice how to write audit reports. And when you get familiar with the process, you can start audits on those well-known audit contexts like Farina, Chirac, Codehawk, and Katina. But if you are still a beginner, I would recommend you just participate in some audit contests with small code bases. For example, I would choose, in the very beginning, I would choose a code base with less than 500 lines of solidity. But when I become more experienced, I would choose code base less than maybe 1,000 or 1,000 to 1,500 lines of solidity. And there are some features for each audit platforms. For Codefarina's, is there anyone for Codefarina team or other audit platform team? No. Also, I can say my true opinion. Yeah, that's because currently I could not do escalation on Codefarina. I just got a result, and I feel really sad because in my last audit competition, I submit more than 7 audit reports, but there is none of them is confirmed as a valid issue. And I do not know what happened because I find an access control. I find an audit finding that they do not remove the testing configuration. I think it is a really high and very, very vulnerable finding, but they just not admit that one, and I cannot directly talk to the judge. So it frustrates me. And the other one is Chirac. For Chirac, I did not participate much on Chirac, but based on my friend's experience, she said Chirac has longer escalation period, so you might wait longer for the results to come out. And for Codehawks, some of the white hat from ETH Hack Lab says there is some judging issue on the Codehawks. So recently I did not participate in more audits on Codehawk as well. But I would really recommend you to participate in Katina because they judge very, very fast. Like my last audit, the major DAO audit. I complete the audit at the morning, and they just finish all the review at night. So I can get quick response and know what I missed. Yes, and after you practice more and more in the audit contest, it is really important for you to review the findings that you missed. And you can also review the audit reports and learn from other people's audits. So it is the way that you can improve yourself. Yes, and just repeat again and again. And from I learned a very important mindset from another auditor. He said every time when he got a new audit, he never looked at the documentation first. He just directly dived into the code base, and he will get a lot of problems. But he will solve this problem one by one, and then he will realize how the entire code base works. So now I learned his method, and I still look at documentation, but I will try to look into the code base more. And you might think, I'm not experienced, then am I able to find any bugs in the audit contest? My answer is yes. You can see there is a audit contest, and it is a code section I extract from the competition. And if you have some knowledge in validity, you could identify there is a access control vulnerability in the code base. Even though the team, the engineer in the team are all experienced, sometimes they still miss they still miss like this vulnerability. So you always could find some vulnerability in each the competition. So that is how you could build your self-confidence. And if you want to learn more, like the roadmap to audits, you could refer to the following resources. I just post some. I think that is helpful resource here, and you can take a look at it later. And there is more resources for you to learn Web3 security, besides from the audits and security reviews. If you read Chinese, last year we hosted a Web3 security bootcamp by DeFi Hackathon, and I'm one of the instructors. We have recording videos. You can take a look at these videos, and we also open source the slides, the homework, the assignments, and the exams. So you can take a look at these resources and practice by yourself. And if you are a student, you want to learn mainly on the solidity development or some DeFi interaction, I would promote my my GitHub repo, because last semester I'm a teaching assistant at school, and I just set up this. I just open source all of my slides and assignments we teach on the course. So feel free to use these resources. And then, yeah, and besides from audit contest, you could also contribute to the security tooling development. For example, I select some famous toolings, and I think it's easy to contribute to, because most of them are written in Python, and I think you can use the cursor to bytecoding. Yes, so I would recommend Slither, and if you want to practice your Rust programming skill, you can choose the Android. There are both static analyzers. You can just build some detection rules and use this tool to scan through the code base to find vulnerabilities. Now there is a new tool called Slam. It is the front-end API for the Solidity compiler, so you can reconstruct the AST from Solidity and write some rules to detect the vulnerabilities from the source code. Yeah, and also you could contribute to buzzing. Now you can. I would recommend you to learn how to write the entire buzzing testing framework. It's really important because nowadays more and more people are hiring to rewrite their testing framework. And I also recommend you to contribute to DeFi Hackathon. That is a collection of past attack incidents. You could write the proof of concept for the past attack incidents, and I highly recommend you also write the attack analysis in your blog. And if you publish your blog and include it in the recent Blockchain Intelligence newsletter, that would be good news, because that's where some company find auditors. Yeah. When you publish one blog, and for example, my friend, he published a blog about the liquidity fork, the challenges and the vulnerabilities, common vulnerabilities in liquidity forks. And once he published the article, some protocol team just contact him and want him to help do the private audit. So it's how you could get your clients. Yeah, and last thought about how you could participate in the audit contest. And now I will talk more about how you could contribute to the Ethereum's infrastructure. This is the process of how Ethereum ecosystem evolves. There is a website. We could take a look at it. And you can see this is the process for developing the beam chain. The beam chain is the next upgrade for the Ethereum core protocol. And the development will be categorized into 4 phases. The first one is building. It's more like researching the entire concept than is stacking. The stacking is similar to writing down the Ethereum improvement proposal, and finally we have building. And building does not mean we start developing in the client side. In Ethereum, we will first develop in this repo, EESL. Its full name is Ethereum Execution Spec. Yeah, Ethereum Execution Specs. And it is written in Python. So I think it's much more easier to contribute compared to the REs or Go Ethereum or other Ethereum client code bases. And I'm currently contributing to this project. It's called EEST. When the EESL team finish the spec development, the EEST team will start to write test cases for this project. And this is the testing process in Ethereum. When the EESL team finish the spec, the EEST team will start writing the test cases. After writing the test cases, we will generate a lot of pictures. You can view it as another forms of test cases, and we will pass this test case, these features into different Ethereum clients and help them perform the testing and make sure the test coverage is high and there is no problem during the Ethereum protocol's upgrade. And there is a website that collects all the first issue from different repositories. You can refer to this website if we want to start something small and start contributing. So you can just take a look at the project you are interested in. And if you're still learning, I will recommend you these resources. Currently, there is a Ethereum protocol fellowship starter group, and it will cover a lot of basic fundamentals of Ethereum core protocols. So you can take a look at this wiki page, and there's a lot of recording videos discussing the future upgrades of Ethereum. And I would highly recommend you to read the article, and also you could contribute to the repository. And if you are an experienced developer, you could also apply for the upcoming Ethereum Protocol Fellowship. It is a 6-month fellowship program that you will work closely with the Ethereum Foundation's developer and build a little project. I read the report last year for last year's fellowship. Someone contributed to the Hop compiler language, and the team will help. Will be the mentor for him. And so I think it is a really good experience for you. And this is how we could get involved in the Web3 space. So today I showed 2 parts. The first part is how we could participate in the security review, the audit contest. And the second part is how you can start to contribute to the Ethereum's infrastructure. And this ends my presentation. Thank you, everyone.
Wow, we really literally deep dive into the security space and also Ethereum. So if there's any questions for Louis' presentation, yeah, you can just raise your hand if you're interested about it. And it's really appreciate to have this kind of really different perspective from application side, because we kind of iterate very soon and build a lot of POC during the hackathon. But eventually, if you want to go production, security is definitely an issue. And also, since we are all built on Ethereum, know how the fundamental works and how the fundamental process and upgrade look like is also important. So thanks for the sharing. And I think Louis will join Ethereum Foundation as an intern this summer. So I believe maybe in the few months later, he's gonna share a bit more deep dive session. So if you're interested about it, follow our Twitter, follow our Instagram, and if you have any question about the sharing, raise your hand. Or otherwise, we will have Martin to share his super experience journey.
Alright, hello guys, me again. So, well, again, no slides. Just gonna talk through. I'll be quick. So, a couple things. One, I was being asked to share the experience as a hacker, which it was a long time ago. But I think it's also nice to have like different kinds of like perspective. So, like the first sharing was like how do you maximize like bounty and all that, like that experience. For me, I'm hacking, and I think like this basically talks about like how ETHGlobal itself is such a diverse hackathon for everyone, right? And so for me, it was like purely I'm just optimized for research and learning. So the one that I joined was Hack the Money, the first Hack the Money. Actually, and it was purely online. It's like 1 month long, and those are the kinds of hackathons that I typically join. Like, hey, 1 month long, then I'm in, because I don't need to like sacrifice my sleep and then compete with others. So for those, then I basically pick a topic that is technically interesting to me, because I was sort of in the space already, and then I just like deep dive into it. The one that I put in, I think for the Hack the Money, I did, you know the truffle tooling, right? And so I basically dissected the truffle tooling and added some functionality on top. Like Hard Hat right now has the functionality of changing the storage or states, right? Like natively. And what I did is basically before Hard Hat has that and Truffle didn't, and I just like changed Truffle and modified it so that it can do that. And so that was fun. That was fun. It took a long time, and also like deep dive into the tooling because Truffle is a big code base as well. What was kind of interesting, one is obviously your understanding of the whole thing, how it works, and it's kind of like on the edge of no one knows, like even if you ask any Solidity engineer or like people in the space, they don't necessarily know the internals of Truffle tooling, or Solidity coverage and all these things. So pick a topic that's kind of like technically interesting to you, boom, dive in, and you can talk about it like so that other engineers and nerds will kind of like, oh, this is cool. What is kind of interesting is after that, I think basically Nomadic Labs, which is the Hard Hat Foundation, Hard Hat folks, they reached out to me and said like, hey, we want to hire you. Wow. Which is cool, and that is like also like years later, like 1 year or 2 years later, and they're like, hey, actually now we have this, but we saw that you were doing this like 1 year ago, and we want to like hire you. And I was like, well, but 1 sem is great, so I didn't leave. So that's that. That's probably, so the other, not as experienced as you guys already. Like I only did like 2 real hackathons. The other hackathon I did was like at ETH Toronto, not an ETHGlobal thing, but that one is also not too long, like 3 days, and so I lost sleep and swore never to do that again. But that was also kind of like picking a topic that was interesting. Basically, I was like, atomic swap, that is interesting. And so I'm gonna implement atomic swap, understand it there, and then implement it, and then somehow have a very bad UI. And for that, I think basically this comes down to, and so for both ones, I got into finalists, which is great. And I think I want to segue this to right now my role as like judges, right? So I serve at Circuit, QuantStem, like I often do like judging and hackathons and all that. One of the things I think different judge will have different perspective, obviously, right? But I do think like for a lot of the Web3 judges, there tempted to see something interesting, basically. And interesting is like too abstract. But one part of interesting is just like, hey, technically interesting, right? It's something that no one really has done. Either it's because it's difficult or like it's very abstracted away. No one has dived deep into this much. Or it's old technique, but no one has brought it up and see how it works right now, etc. Right? So that is one part of interesting on the technical side. Right? Other kind of like interesting thing are new stuff. Right? Let's say as an example, Uniswap v4 hooks. Right? It's interesting for judges because one, it's technically interesting. It's a new stuff and second, it's a new stuff. Like it's Uniswap, right? And then technically, like, hey, no one really knows how to use it properly, and it's kind of like an exploration, right? Similarly, like right now, like AI, right? Oh, how agentic things like the one that we just ended. Oh, it's interesting because it is new. No one really knows how to use it, and the exploration of it sparks imaginations, and those are the things that kind of stick into the judge's mind, right? If you're just sticking into like, hey, I want to build like an app, like I don't know, decentralized Uber kind of thing, which a lot of like my students, the first time they come up to me and they're like, I want to decentralize McDonald's or decentralized Uber. I'm like, well, yeah, those kind of things that you like as a judge, you'll probably like hear every single hackathon, and you're like, yeah. I'm like, I admire all your effort in putting into the UI and all that, but it's not interesting, right? Another dimension of interesting is the UI UX experience. Interesting, right? And so it can be something like, oh, I have I don't know how to call that, the extension on Chrome, and I turn the Twitter into something that is embedded crypto in it. Like there's crypto interaction. I turn Twitter into Forecaster, kind of thing, right? Oh, that's interesting. Why? Two things. One is on the UI side, right? UI, UX side, it makes it interesting. And second, it obviously goes into crypto, etc. And it's like really relatable, right? So UI side, interesting, technically interesting, new stuff, right? Like new protocols, like whatever having the buzz. And let me dive a little bit deeper on whatever new is there, which is, you can also look at events or like, famous people who have been tweeting around. And that's also like a great way to start your presentation. They're like, Vitalik said this is a problem, right? Like, I vaguely recall, well, Vitalik definitely said something along like a social recovery kind of like wallet sort of thing, right? And then he was like, oh, can I have, we should have this kind of like wallet or whatever. Hey, that's a great idea that you don't need to think about yourself. Literally someone in the space has talked about it, and he basically said it because no one was building it, or he didn't notice it, which means the tool is not widely publicized yet, etc. And so if you go into that direction, and also literally on your first presentation quoting that person, and then having a screenshot of this is what Vitalik said, and then hence our project is doing exactly this, boom, 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 and you have a nice solution. That's very interesting, right? Or another example could be Bybit Hack. Now Bybit Hack is huge. There's an event. A lot of people are commenting about it. Are there toolings that you can build around that? Are there like monitoring tools, etc.? All these kind of stuff. Basically something that is also relatable. This is also like partly in the dimension of new, but also like literally something that sparks like, it's relatable right now. Something that you feel. So I'll cut it right there. Basically, summarize, make your project interesting. Technically, UI, UX, or new topics, event-based. That's it. All right, thanks guys.
You know how judges is thinking about a project, so please, if you want to know the tips to like win a prize and how to get admired from judge's side, just raise your hand right now. I believe Alan should be interested about it.
Full price.
All right. If there's no question, then right now I think it's just like networking time. And if you are have any like idea you want to share, you can directly just fill in the idea and your projects. Give one sentence about it. What kind of functionality you still want to like having on your team. Let's say you want to have a UI UX designer, then just fill in the form. Oh, I think. Oh yeah, we still have like for the ETHGlobal talk, right? Let me check the agenda. Oh, is there? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hyper Bitcoin. Okay. So we still have one talk before the session.
Yeah. Are we doing the? So I'm in this meet. Do I need to go?
Yeah, just Google Meet and share your recording. Because we have one of the live stream.
Do I need to like or something, or is it just?
We have live streaming over there.
Where do we get the hats?
Where do you get the hats? Talk to me after this, and then maybe we get synergies. We have a couple of them. Taipei. Okay. So yeah, I think we can start. Hi everyone. My name is Talib. I'm the DevRel engineer at Struya. We're building something interesting that is related to Bitcoin. I will come to that. In this short talk, I'll just go over some points that I find particularly important. A bit of the current state of what we're doing, a bit of what's going on in the Bitcoin world, and a bit of also at the end what we're doing and what you can do during the hackathon. A bit of shield time, obviously. So yeah, this is also the ETH Taipei edition. I just did some modifications, hopefully it's alright. So first theme is Bitcoin, and it will always be Bitcoin. So the reason I'm saying this is pretty much many people here hacked on many different chains, and we have a bunch of different ideas on what's going on. But at the end of the day, when I look back on the core values and when I look back at what's going on, then Bitcoin always remains in the first place, basically, for everyone, pretty much. Even though it has some downsides that I will come over. It has this unique white paper that catches your eye in the first read, and it has this beautiful price graphic that sounds like Ethereum price, which if you buy and hold, you get rich eventually over time. It is mostly recognized by the public, by the people. Like when I say Ethereum, my mom knows nothing, but when I say Bitcoin, she just knows it. And she also thinks that I'm doing some illegal stuff as well, so the Bitcoin is quite related to that. And yeah, luckily we don't know who Satoshi is. There is a bunch of theories, but we have no idea, and I hope we won't have any ideas in the future as well. Because I think if we know who Satoshi is, then probably there will be some problems that we don't want to see. They're going to be quite rich, and they're going to be extremely influential over everything that's going on in the space. And it's actually a common theme among Bitcoiners. Like, many people are against trying to find who Satoshi is, because it's just damage at this point. We don't want this. Maybe in 100 years later we can try. Probably NSA knows, but still, like, we don't know who Satoshi is. and which is a good thing. It's essentially like an anonymity that is granted, even though Bitcoin itself is not quite private, to be honest. But it's like important in the sense that we all could be Satoshi, and identities do not matter in this world. And they're quite popular. Like everyone's trying to buy Bitcoin. Companies are investing in Bitcoins or virtual Bitcoins, which is good for many people. Which I have some doubts, because the more this gets more and more popular, obviously we become more rich, and it becomes more useful maybe. But then I kind of feel like we're kind of like losing the values that we have tried to gain over the years. Like if you asked me 5 years ago, 10 years ago, what is all this, what's all going on, I would say, even though I was not very well connected, I would say like there's a bunch of independent people trying to gain, financial freedom that is not under control of other governments or influential people. But now I think we're well past this point. I think now basically US buys and El Salvador buys, and it tries to get integrated with every platform that we have. While it is good, I think this has some also interesting damages as well over time. Yeah, this was the whole reason like Bitcoin came over. It was a response against all this centralization, all these financial crimes that's been put up on the public, and now we're just forgetting them. We're just caring about our bags, which is sometimes good, but eventually I think this is an important case. We need more privacy and more independence, more decentralization, and blah blah blah, more buzzwords. Yeah, so Bitcoin is cool, again, even though it has problems. It's arguably like we don't know Satoshi's, it's going nice, but there are some limitations. Bitcoin does not really scale very well. If you try to use Bitcoin, then you're wrecked, because chain is expensive and chain is very limited. You can do, you can hold, and as long as you have the private key, you are fine. But there is like a bunch of problems that when you try to use chain more and more, it gets more and more expensive, and you cannot do many things that is available on Ethereum or the EVM chains. So know that this is an important functionality you have on the other chains. And yeah, it's sometimes quite problematic, like when you actually try to use Bitcoin, when you try to lend some money, borrow some money, even when you try to do ordinals, meme coins, it's problematic, it's expensive, not quite practical, and this is like the reaction of people when they actually try to use Bitcoin. And let's say, okay, then what can we do is, let's make a better Bitcoin, or let's fix some bugs, right? It's really hard, because Bitcoin people has this resilience, which I understand to some point, because many people in this room knows hundreds of tokens, hundreds of tickers, and it all became part of a financial game. They try to resist against that, which I hugely respect. So there's not really too many upgrades on Bitcoin. Maybe one of them also coming this year or next year. But it's also hard to upgrade Bitcoin and fix these problems. So what we have as an alternative solution is just like the Ethereum people, let's make other layers, and then let's connect with them. Like let's make other chains, and let's make other assets. Let's issue a, I don't know, Taiwan BTC on top of Ethereum, right? Because if we can do this, then we can use it more practically. And there's actually quite a demand for this. Like this is a screenshot from the Galaxy Digital's report on the Bitcoin yields. And like there's a 3 billion TVL just on the yield side with different assets. And people are actually trying to use it, but they're trying to use it on Ethereum because using it on Bitcoin is not easy. So there is actually a demand to use Bitcoin because it gets more and more valuable. And when you look at this table, one thing we know is like this is working fine, but there are some people, there are some intermediaries that you trust. Like there is Brand BTC, which is in the control of 5 people, and 3 of these people can move your BTC. Let's say I wish I had $1 billion, then these people could move my $1 billion in night by the signature of 3 people. And if this value gets more and more and more over time, it becomes more risky. We have this CBBTC, which is a Coinbase BTC solution. Even though I trust them, I don't trust them fully if I had like more money. And there's a TBTC, which is like cool guys, but again, the same thing. We are in the, like bridges and the new assets are always risky in the sense that there might be problems that are really unsolvable and that are really dangerous to everyone. And this is another report from the Bitcoin Layers website. You can check it out. This is like the bitcoinlayers.org. This is like the LTV of Bitcoin. And like currently by the BTC assets on different chains has a value of $30 billion. 30 billion. And when you check what are these, you see the same thing. It is all the bridges and it is all the different assets that are functioning good at the moment, but may not function very good in the future and may become really problematic. So yeah, this might be like something happening in the future, for example, like the money Bitcoin that you gave by the bridge to some people may get stolen and then in the end you will just get left by some shit. So you should be careful on what you're using always, all the time. So actually this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to come up with a solution that fixes this. And the way we do it is we're Straya, we're building a roll-up on Bitcoin. You can think of it as a chain that has a connection with Bitcoin. And this connection also uses ZK in the sense that there's a trust minimized bridge that I can talk more and more in detail later to one-to-one. I don't want to bash your head with technical details for everyone. So we have this ZK bridge and the ZK roll-up on Bitcoin. And this is like part of the report that like one of our lead investors have. So like there's this huge Bitcoin sitting on Bitcoin because no one is willing to use it. Because using Bitcoin on Bitcoin is problematic. And giving your Bitcoin to some other people is also problematic because it's also risky. But there is some demand for it. Like people are looking for the ways to utilize their Bitcoins without making it too risky. So we're trying to address this actually. And we try to basically make this like everyone happy and bridges is functioning and you are not left with some shit. So this is the core idea that we're building. To elaborate a bit more what we're doing, not to make it harder. So in the Ethereum world, the way these chains work is these chains post some data to Ethereum, and then as long as your chain is functioning, everyone can check Ethereum. And there is also some code in Ethereum that has the connection between this chain. What we're doing is also similar with Bitcoin. So we have a chain that is going on. There's a sequencer that orders transactions and does the logic and everything goes fine. And there's also this prover, which is a mathematical node, I would say, that proves that the execution of this chain is correct. So that's saying that you should, like, as long as I'm functioning correctly, then this chain will continue to function correctly as well. And we publish this data into Bitcoin. That means as long as Bitcoin is alive and functioning, which I believe will happen at least another 100 years, then this chain itself will continue to work. So we're basically making a mechanism that has the data on Bitcoin, and as long as Bitcoin continues to function, this will also continue to function in that sense. There are some caveats, but we can talk later. And it's also EVM compatible, so if you have some Solidity experience or stuff like that, you can just use your existing knowledge to build products on it, which is a huge bonus, because if this was not EVM compatible, then you would need to go to our docs and then read this whole new technology, read the whole new SDK, read the whole new Node.js code, TypeScript code, or whatever, and then you would need to understand it. But now it's just an EVM chain that has a connection with Bitcoin, that has the currency of Bitcoin. So you can just try to understand more and more Solidity if you're not aware, which is, I believe, easier compared to many other stuff. Like if you stay locked in, read 2 days, try some experimentations, pretty much you will get the basics, I would say, which is a huge bonus. And yeah. And on the side that the bridges, on the side of the bridges, like shits on the bridges side, what we have is there's this mechanism on Bitcoin that we can verify these mathematical proofs. The way we do it is, so instead of trusting 3 out of 5 people, now you're trusting only 1 out of 20 people, and as long as 1 people in this setup. So there is a multisig that has the proof verification as well. It's quite complex. But at the end of the day, what it comes down is you only trust 1 out of 20 people instead of 3 out of 5, which is a huge improvement. This is what we're trying to do without making it too complicated. And also, like, this is really valuable, we believe. When we started, like, we were really bullish, but there were some interesting ideas on whether this could work or not, because it's really challenging to do so. But then we raised the seed round, and then we raised the round A from Founders Fund and Naval 11 and Galaxy Digital. So the more and more we shift, the more and more people start to believe. Because we started around 2 years ago, and the Bitcoin L2 season was mostly empty, to be honest. Like Lightning was always there, some known guys were always there, but like it wasn't going really crazy. And then once we started, and then 1-2 other guys also joined with cool ideas, and then all of a sudden the space exploded. Right now everywhere you see BTC yields, and then you see BTC L2s, which most of them are fake, unfortunately. But still, like there is a huge demand going on, and it's kind of like good to see that something that we believed in is becoming more and more real in the time, over the time. So why are we even doing this? Like, what's the reason? What's the end goal? Like, are we going to print money? Is this the aim? Like, what's the idea? The idea is actually something that I've been carrying for many times, and I think it's also the same with the founders, because they're my friends, close friends from the past. So this is something called hyper-Bitcoinization. Essentially, the idea is making Bitcoin as the top asset in the world. And by the top asset, I mean it's a currency that is used by everyone instead of some other government currency, instead of US dollar, instead of euro, instead of sterling, instead of yen, yuan, which are backed by some governments who we live under but does not give us financial freedom. If we find a way that is decentralized enough and that is independent enough and that sticks to some core values as humans, that's the idea of hyper-Bitcoinization, making everything based on Bitcoin. This sounds really superficial and almost impossible, which I tend to agree at some point, but we will eventually get there. Like, I keep saying, like, you know, there's ETFs, they're not good, and then there's adoption. You know, we should be careful, yes, but they're also good in that sense, because now we have a real shot at having Bitcoin as the core asset in the world. And like, this is the fundamental idea that's been proposed many years ago by some other people, genius people in the space. And if you check like on their idea, on the way they see it, like there's this graphic is basically the summary of what's going on and what's the prediction. And first now we had the, oops, is this, okay, is this touch screen? Okay, it's probably, sorry about that. So yeah, we had the innovators in the space, miners, and then, you know, people, engineers and wallets and nodes became more and more popular in Bitcoin space. Many people started to thought more and more Bitcoin. And then the Bitcoin price also started to increase as well. And in the meantime, the adoption also became easier. There are new exchanges now, there are new layers being built, there are industries being shaped around Bitcoin. And now we are in this weird intersection in which there's quite an interesting tech. And there's a really good price, but what will happen? Like, will Bitcoin always stay this way? Will it be always impossible to use it? So what we're trying to achieve is to have this new asset that is much more useful and much better security that people can utilize. And we believe, and many people believe, that came up with this idea is the price will continue to increase as well, but there will be a point in which we will start to see Bitcoin as the main asset. So that without the influence of any government in the world, Bitcoin will be the financial freedom corner, which will happen in 50 years, 100 years, I don't know. But we believe this will eventually happen if like it's not being blocked, and even if it's blocked, we will try to fight against it. But this is the core value that we have, and all these ideas, all these chains that we build are against, like going in this direction. Again, like Bitcoin came. Like in the Genesis block of Bitcoin, this message was embedded. So this should be what we're fighting for. And we're basically trying to bring a world that is backed by Bitcoin. This is the idea. Okay, after all this speech, all these ethos and all these, all this stuff. So what can you do for us and what we're bringing to the table in this week? In Taipei, we're basically sponsoring ETHGlobal Hackathon in 2 tracks. So we have one track of experimental DeFi, we call. It's mostly some DeFi stuff that is relevant with Bitcoin. If you have some ideas, please, we can talk later as well. We give some bounty, 4,000 baht for it. And also for the rest of ideas, we have another track that you can ship some, if you have some expertise on AI agents, MCPs, you can come with that. If you're very good with mixers, if you're very good with proof of innocence type of protocols, you can also go with that. Previously, we were building a privacy protocol. It's now being used by Railgun and also privacy pools as well. So yeah, we put 2 different bounties that should fit to everyone, and I will be the judge with Jason and Mohammed from my team. So you can find us, we can talk on different bunch of ideas. But we're not stopping at Taipei itself as well, because we've also launched our incubator called Origins. The Origins is we're trying to find people who thinks like us, who thinks that there should be more to do with Bitcoin, and who's also trying to achieve the more adoption with more fundamental to values. So we're trying to find good hackers that can also help us along the way. And we're basically helping them with everything pretty much, from their product, in the ideas, in the team formation, in the fundraising, in the marketing, in the go-to-market strategies. We help them one by one by one. We now have several founders. We just had a hacker house last week in Istanbul with them. You will see more and more announcements from our side that people are building Bitcoin-first design applications, that Bitcoin wallets, Bitcoin-backed stable coins, and trustless lending borrowing Bitcoin platforms on our chain, it's not on Bitcoin. So yeah, we're basically trying to gather more people who thinks like us and who's leads in the future. I guess, yeah, so thank you very much for listening. This is my Twitter, you can follow me. I thought I didn't exceed the time too much.
Yeah, no worries. Any questions about the project? Okay.
Thank you.
We have Polygon up next.
Also, sorry, that time extension, I was never.
Hello, everyone. Let's take a deep breath together. Feels good. You know, there's a level of CO2 in the room, and with everyone in here, if we all just take a deep breath, we can all get in sync and relax a little bit. My name is Colin. I am a core contributor at a company called the Dabble Club. You can find me on Twitter as Colo, or Wi-Fi on LinkedIn, or Polygon on Telegram. I'll give you a QR code at the end if you want to connect. I'm here to tell you about Polygon's bounties, but I also want to tell you about Dabble Club because I'm trying to build community all over the world. My company, dabble.club, you can go to our cool website, check it out, learn all about what we do. But basically what we do is we create little Polygon-sponsored blockchain clubs all over the world. And I want to build one here in Taipei. So I really love XueDAO. It's amazing. This is the coolest 3 events in one day. I'm kind of blown away. I also met some other cool DAOs while I've been here, so I'll be going to events for the two weeks leading up to ETHGlobal Taipei. I live in San Francisco, so if you come to San Francisco, just send me a message. I'll invite you to events. There's nonstop. It's just like this, but every day in San Francisco. Although I gotta say, I'm really impressed by Taipei. There's more blockchain developers really intensely learning and building here than anywhere I've been, even more than San Francisco. What we do learn, build, and grow. So we do workshops. We go to hackathons and help people build. So I'll be mentoring and judging the hackathon. We also do grow. So I have a demo day. I'll also give you a QR code. We want to help you build real companies, real world applications, real world assets, real world payments. We want to build real things. And the way we do that is we help you go from hackathon project, that awkward phase, to where you get that VC money, and we do that through grants. So who's building on? So it's not working. Is there a cool video here? I think it's just a cool graphic. See if it plays. Oh, I'm streaming over my. So my goal is to help you build on Polygon. You can join us, and then we'll help you get grants and funding. The grants are pretty awesome, but also you're going to be in a group of companies that are building on Polygon. So Polygon's been around for a very long time. I think they started in 2017, and it's like the original L2. And Ethereum went proof of stake, kind of following in Polygon's footsteps. And Polygon is now contributing by building the aggregation layer, which is the future of Ethereum, connecting all the chains together. So you can see some big brands on here, but it starts from these little hackathons is where you get started. And so it starts with grants. So we're giving away non-dilutive funding. So yes, there's $10,000 of prizes for the hackathon, but what I want you to take away from this is there are now 10 applications you can fill out on our website. You can go get money. It's milestone-based grants. So you say, hey, I'm going to build this over this many months, and you go and build it, and you get paid every month for building that thing. It's pretty awesome. I think this is how you build. The reason this is happening now is because Polygon changed the name of the token from Matic to Pol, and as they did that, they upgraded to add 2% emissions, so the community now has this funding mechanism built into the token. So the ETHGlobal Taipei is why I'm here. I encourage you guys all to come hack. I will be judging these 3 tracks along with Mel, who's flying in from Mexico City. Real-world applications. Anything built with AI is cool. I want to see AI. I want to see MCP. I want to see people using this GOAT SDK from CrossMet or Sentient's awesome AI models. I also have this cool OMI device I'll talk about. So I want to see real applications, but also we want to make sure that people build payment applications and real-world assets. These are big focuses for us. What you should apply for grants, real-world assets, payments, but also anything you want to build. Consider it like a pool prize. Everyone should go and submit to our real world apps prize. Let's see, is this a video again? These videos are fun. So this is a demo of my app that I built. So I go around and I talk to builders all the time, and I have all these conversations, but I never write down any notes. And the reason I don't take any notes is because I have this little thing right around my neck. And as I talk to you tonight, it's actually taking notes. So it's recording the conversation, transcribing it using DeepGram, and then plugging it into Pinecone and feeding it to OpenAI for inference, and I can ask myself questions. So I have 6 months of data stored on their servers, and I have access to all those gigabytes and gigabytes of conversations via API. There's a webhook so I can stream it in real time, so I can have real-time translator, I can have a real-time there's one that's called the KOL. There's one that's called the girlfriend retainer. There's one that's called, a mentor. So the goal of this project that I built was to help me do my job better. So I talk to a lot of people, and I capture all those conversations, and I turn those into projects. So every project I learn about, I store that project in my project database, and then I click a little button over here, this build button. I could also do marketing on Twitter and social media, or I could generate a grant application for them, but maybe most interesting is actually building something for them. So it's gonna, once I click that build button, it takes off and it will actually start building the idea open source. So it uses MCP servers and GitHub and Claude 3.7, and I just take in whatever idea I've captured in a conversation, summarize it, and create a GitHub project, create tasks, and then assign agents to go and build that open source. So as a DevRel, my job is give you sample app. If you want a sample app, come to me, let's talk about it, let's record it, our conversation, I'll throw it in here, and I'll vibe code for you. So I didn't have to do any of the work, I just vibe coded that entire conversation into an open source repo that you can start the hackathon with. So you don't have to start from scratch. If you want to get started, just come talk to me about your idea, and I'll give you some sample code. It doesn't take a lot of time because it's automatically doing it. I just click one button. So this was our hackathon project that won ETH Denver, so that was really exciting. Obviously, I had some help. I had this cute little device. I've got a couple more of these. I've given out 600 at ETHGlobal Hackathons. I'm running out, but I have a few if you want to hack on it. You can borrow it for the hackathon or just come test it out at my booth, the Polygon booth. We are also running an online hackathon giving away $50,000. 25 grand is the top prize for the hacker that builds the best AI assistant or mentor. So if you really are into voice AI or building AI assistants that help people, this is the most data that you can capture. It is completely open source. There's lots of competitors. I think you might have heard of them. Siri, Alexa, you name it, right? There are a lot of competition in that space. None of them are open source. None of them are able to integrate with Web3. So this is the founder from San Francisco. I made a deal with him to help him get some hackers for his hackathon, and they already have an app. It already works. You can build an app in about 2 minutes. I'm happy to show you how to build it. You just click on the link scroll down on my link tree that I'm at the QR code, and you can build your own app in about 2 minutes with this device. And it works without the device too. You can just use your phone to record with your mic. So that 50 grand hackathon ends on March 31st. So, you have about 24 to 48 hours to finish that hackathon. I know that's not a lot of time, but if you already built an AI assistant, you're really lucky and you can come build it. Also, I'm doing one event. So here's my event, Demo Day after the hackathon. Would love for you guys to come to my demo day. It's April 6th after the hackathon. We want to see all the best projects. Again, Polygon Grants is why I'm here. I have a grant myself. I'm not actually officially an employee of Polygon. I have a grant from them to go tell people to get more grants. So maybe you can get a grant too to host an event or a workshop. I'd love to work with XueDAO and all the other communities to build out the Polygon community here. Here's my QR code. Thank you.
Also, if you have any recommendations of what to do while I'm in Taipei, I would love to know. Thank you. Any questions? Thank you.
Awesome. All right. I would love to try that different device. Sounds like you can fork in every project like within 5 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right, so before we doing networking, so we will have a group photo first. So Donna, can you, are you here? So let's come here and then let's have a group photo together, and then we can wrap up the session and go into the networking part. 大家可以往前站，然后我们